It's time to look at the new Celestial accessories in detail.
7K Dreamer please.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. With the Heavenly Stairs and Lucky Box in progress, Celestial accessories can be obtained, and we are going to analyze the usage of these new accessories so that you do not end up investing in the wrong one. We will also talk about the Substat Stones too. Special thanks to my friends Bun and Imperium for their advice for this video. We are jumping straight into the Celestial Benevolence, which gives your hero an 8000 HP shield every 3 turns at level 5. At level 1 there is a huge difference because the shield only comes back every 9 turns. For PvP, I feel that this accessory could be amazing only for heroes who are very tanky and bulky if they take low damage. But looking at Arena right now, having the shield probably isn't going to make a big difference because many skills and effect attacks deal way more with a single hit. And anything lower than level 5 basically makes having this accessory useless. For PvE, I think this accessory would definitely be very helpful. PvE bosses seldom do huge amounts of damage. The biggest damage comes from the Nightmare Castle Rush, where the fixed damage dealt by the enemies have 5-digit figures. But aside from that, I think having an 8000 HP shield every 3 turns is going to guarantee a PvE support unit's survival. However, it is not a must-have because even without this, most PvE units can survive well with adequate jewels and PvE armor. Comparing this to other defensive accessories like the Gallada's Tenacity, Isabella's Crimson Blood and Isabella's Deception. The Gallada's Tenacity works much better in PvP since it reduces fixed damage by percentage, but it has a very niche role to reduce only fixed damage, so it should only be considered if the meta is flooded with fixed damage heroes. Isabella's Crimson Blood reduces damage taken from 4 and 5 target skills, and while this sounds good, it doesn't seem to be used at all, mainly because many units now still have single target or 3 target skills. Isabella's Deception provides HP shields, so it is very similar to the Celestial Benevolence, but it only provides a one-off 4000 HP shield, which is extremely pathetic, so I hope this gets a revamp. Another accessory which requires you to look at the turn count is the Celestial Purification, which cleanses debuffs every 3 turns. This accessory is actually pretty useful at level 5, however in the game right now very few debuffs actually go beyond 2 turns, so even if the accessory is painfully built to level 5, it is rather useless at the moment. Yes, there are some debuffs in PvP such as defense decrease which could last for 3 or 4 turns, but the number of such debuffs are just way too little currently. The same applies for PvE, debuff duration is short. Next, we are going to look at 2 stat-related accessories, and they are the Celestial Rage and Celestial Integrity. The Celestial Rage guarantees counter attack for 7 turns, while the Celestial Integrity guarantees block for 7 turns. I believe these accessories are more catered for PvP than PvE. Having the Celestial Rage on key counter units could be very meta in future and also lead to fast-paced high-damage match openings. Of course, you could give this accessory to any unit, but I specifically mention counter heroes like Chris, Orca and Carl because these guaranteed counter attacks need to be worthwhile and useful. You will not and should not be giving this accessory to heroes who have meaningless counter or effect attacks. However, do take note that the Celestial Rage can be partially negated by enemy Guardian Rings, which nullify damage for 3 turns, so this leaves the Rage to be useful for 4 later turns only. The Celestial Integrity is going to be useful for any hero, not just heroes who should be tanky. Having guaranteed block halves any damage for 7 turns, and this can even be good for glass cannon units and protect them from dying too early. However, the block provided by the accessory could most likely be countered by effect attacks, which ignore block effects, so it probably would not be as useful against heroes with high chance to land effect attacks. In terms of PvE usage, the Celestial Rage is probably not something you will need because heroes who depend on counter, such as Shane and Seed, will probably have better accessories and builds that boost and guarantee counter, rather than relying on a ring which merely provides 7 turns of that. Same for the block, PvE battles either last shorter than 7 turns like in Raid, or way longer like in Heavenly Stairs and Castle Rush, so the usefulness of the Celestial Integrity won't come through as well. What would potentially be useful in both PvE and PvP are the Celestial Envy and Celestial Sharpness. Both these accessories allow the hero to inflict up to 30% more damage depending on the enemy type. For PvE, this is definitely going to make a huge difference, stacked on with Fighter Soul and traits. More than often, your DPS, Shane or Velica will be using this ring as a substat, but what to build it on is crucial because you can't swap substats. Usually the base accessory would be a crit or lethal damage ring or a crit or lethal rate ring. It really depends on your DPS's build. If you do want to use this accessory for both PvE and PvP, then building it upon a willful ring is probably the safest choice for multi-use. The ring would most likely also be used on heavy damage dealers in PvP such as Rin, Skuld and Zahara. Next we have the Celestial Incarnation, which increases a hero's fixed damage dealt by 40%. Obviously, for this to even be usable, your hero needs to have skills which deal fixed damage in the first place. Few heroes have decent fixed damage skills, with Noah being the best and highest fixed damage dealer now. Other notable mentions include Evan, Freya, Spike, Eileen, Ingrid and Wukong with his effect attack. For comparison's sake, we can bring in the Galidus Madness and Galidus Grudge too. Galidus Madness lets you deal 5000 fixed damage with every skill. This is independent of existing fixed damage amounts and is merely an add-on, which is also the reason why it is one of the most used substats now. Galidus Grudge reduces 2000 HP off the enemy with every basic attack. It is an effect and not considered damage, so it can't be nerfed by other multipliers. Despite the effect being very OP, the amount reduced is just way too small for current arena metas. Lastly, we have the Celestial Arrogance, which increases evasion chance by 40% for the first 7 turns. This is a huge step up from the regular evasion accessory, which at best increases evasion by 14%. It is also similar to the passive which Ace has. I think this is a very good PvP accessory where 7 turns of increased evasion chance could really turn the tide of your battles if you are lucky. Even though after 7 turns your hero will become completely open to damage, at least there is a chance where this could preserve your more crucial heroes only if there aren't any better accessories to use. Chances are in PvE you will still use the regular evasion ring for substats because PvE battles tend to last much longer. A very similar accessory to compare the Celestial Arrogance to is the Galidus Velocity, which gives your hero 7 turns of height. With this, your hero can't be targeted by basic attacks and single target attacks. I feel that height and evasion work on very different premises, so it doesn't mean that one will be better than the other. Perhaps heroes with increased skill use chance would use the height more, so that they won't be countered in the early stages while other heroes could rely on the evasion. We are also unsure at this point if the 40% evasion from the accessory actually stacks with existing evasion passives, for example with Noah. If it does, this could potentially be very good. We are gonna look at Substat Stones now. Unfortunately, these are super rare and can only be gotten via the Lucky Box or the Lucky Roulette. If you have gotten one from the Roulette, congratulations to you, you are definitely in the top RNG blessed tier of players. These are actual items and not currencies, so they are used in place of accessories during an upgrade. When trying to level up an accessory from level 4 to level 5, there is only about a 3.5% chance if you use an identical copy of the accessory. These stones offer success chances at 10%, 15% and 30%, and that's a pretty big increase in chance. Of course, there is the legendary Substat Stone which guarantees a level increase, so if you ever get it, when the stars are aligned, please use it only on a level 4 accessory. In fact, all Substat Stones should be used only on level 4 accessories because of how difficult it is to get from level 4 to level 5. So I hope with this video you guys have a better understanding of the usage and need for the new accessories. They are not game breaking or pay to win accessories, so don't worry about not getting them easily. If you found this video helpful, do give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned for more guides. Thank you so much and see you!